Hey guys, it's Thomas here with Technovision, and welcome to a brand new series on how to create your own Discord bot using the Java Discord API, which is actually one of my favorite APIs to use when it comes to programming in Java. I actually just finished a 2-year-long project building the biggest bot I've ever built. It has like over 100 commands, and you can check it out in the description if you want, but I figured that since I'm done with that project for the most part, I should show you guys how you can create your own bot using this API, and maybe even get into how to create your own web dashboard for that. Alright, so the first thing you want to do to get started is of course download the Java JDK. So you want to head to the Oracle website, which I'm going to do right now. And all of these websites and links that I'm going to be mentioning will all be present in the description. So you can head there right now, click that first link, and it will take you right here. Now, the Java version you use isn't really that important. I will be using Java 17, but of course you could use 18 or 16, whatever you want. But I like 17 because it has long-term support to at least 2024, which is nice as a developer. But again, whatever you want to use. Now you can select your operating system here, and I'm going to select this installer right here, x64 installer, and download it to my desktop. Okay, so it's already on my desktop, and I've already, of course, installed JDK, but I'm not going to show you how to do that because I assume that you've used Java if you're using an API this advanced. So just install that really quickly, and should be a really quick install. And yeah, once that is done, you can throw this off to the side. I guess we can throw it away. And the next thing you're going to download is the IntelliJ IDE. So you can use whatever IDE you want, of course, but I prefer IntelliJ, and I'm going to be using IntelliJ for this tutorial series. So if you want to follow along exactly, then you can download the same IDE as me, of course. So head to that second link in the description, and it'll take you to the IntelliJ download website. And we're going to download the community edition because that's free, of course. I don't want you guys to pay for anything. So yeah, once that is downloaded to your desktop, which of course I already have, you can install this. Again, already installed it, but it's a very quick install, nothing crazy, just a few buttons. And yeah, once you have installed the IDE, you will have, this is the icon in case you're curious, the IntelliJ icon. So yeah, now that those are installed, we can actually get started. So let's open up IntelliJ and actually create our project by going to New Project and giving it a name. Mine is going to be JDA-tutorial, and you can put it wherever you want. Mine is going to be on my desktop. I'm going to select Java as the language. For the build system, you can use Maven or Gradle, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to be using Maven, so if you want to follow along with me, you can do that. Then you can select your JDK version. Mine is 17, which is the one we just downloaded. And then for advanced settings, this doesn't really matter too much because you're not making an API, you're not hosting anything on like Maven repo, but we're gonna do it anyway just to follow like standard best practice. So you want this to be the same path as your package pretty much for your project. So mine is gonna be com dot, the name of you as a developer or your domain name, so Technovision dot, and then your project name, so tutorial bot. And again, if you don't own a domain, you can use lots of other naming schemes, so whatever works for you, but this is going to be mine. And artifact ID, we can leave that as is. Yeah, we can create now. And it's going to take a second for Maven to index your project. You'll be able to tell on the bottom right here if this loading bar is gone. That should mean that everything is good. And now we can check out our pom.xml. So if you're not familiar with pom.xml or Maven in general, this is pretty much our build file. It's going to contain all of the instructions to build and run our project, and it's also going to contain all of the dependencies that we're going to use, like JDA, for example. So speaking of JDA, we actually have to add that as a dependency so we can use it as an API or a library for our actual program. So what you want to do is come over to the next link in the description, and it will take you to the JDA repository on GitHub here. And this is the public repository, and you can see right here that there's a little badge called Maven-Central, and this will show you the current release, the latest release of JDA. So right now you can see it's version 5.0.0-alpha.12. So we can click on this little button here, and it will take us down to the download page pretty much. And you can see here they have a really easy copy paste for Maven and for Gradle, whichever one you're using. So we're using Maven, so we're going to copy this dependency right here. Right click, copy, And you can go back to IntelliJ, and right below where properties is, we're gonna quickly make a dependencies section. So you wanna just type dependencies here in some angle brackets, like that. And then we're gonna put it inside of here. So we can right click, paste, and there we go. So this is gonna contain, of course, all of our dependencies, and this is one of the dependencies that we're pasting in here. And it actually doesn't come with the version just yet. You have to put that in yourself. So whatever version of JDA that you're gonna be using for this project, you can throw inside of here, and it will download that version of the API. So we can go back to the website, and we can see here that the version on Maven, right now the most latest version again is 5.0.0 alpha.12. So we're gonna type that in pretty much because that is the latest version. So we can do 5.0.0-alpha.12. And in order to actually load this change, to load this dependency into our program, we have to click this little reload button up here, load Maven changes. It's very important that you do this, otherwise it won't work. So you can click this button and it should load. There we go. You'll get a little loading bar, but there we go. We now have it actually added to our projects. Now we need to create our packages in our main class. So to do that, we can go over to our source folder over here and open that up, go to main and Java. So the Java folder is going to contain all of our Java code, and the resources folder is going to contain all of our images and localization and all that stuff. So in the Java folder, we can right click and create a new package. And we want our package names to follow pretty much exactly what we put for the group ID here. So again, that would be com dot your domain name dot the name of your project. And if you don't have a domain name, again, you can use other things. You can look those up online. Doesn't really matter too much, but I'm gonna do com, and then right click on com, create next one, Technovision, and then next one, right click, package, tutorial bot. Great, so we have our 3 packages now, just like in the group ID here. And then we're gonna create our main class all the way at the bottom by right clicking on tutorial bot, new Java class, and you're gonna name this the name of your bot pretty much. So tutorial bot. Great, and now to turn this into a main class, all we have to do in Java is create a public static void main string array args method. And there we go, we now have our main bot class. Now there's several ways you can go about creating a Discord bot. You can have a bot be only on one instance, meaning you can only use it in one server at any given time. That's gonna be pretty limiting, of course. You can use that if you're making a custom bot for a customer, or if you're just doing it for your server. But what I prefer is to use the sharding method, which we're gonna use in this tutorial series, because I assume that if you're making a bot, you probably want other people to use it. You probably want it to be in other servers, many servers maybe. So we're gonna use sharding right off the bat, but I will show you the other way if you want to do that instead. So to actually create your bot, let's come up here, not in the main class, we'll do that in a bit, but we're gonna do this in the constructor. So public tutorial bots for our constructor here. And this, of course, is going to be the bot itself, but we want to set up our shard manager. And so to do that, we can do defaults shard manager builder. And we want to name this builder is equal to default shard manager builder dot. And you have a few options here. So the shard manager, this is going to actually build the shards that your bot runs on. If you don't know what a shard is, basically it's just allowing your bot to run on several different instances so that it can run across thousands or potentially millions of Discord servers. So it's basically the bot itself is what you need to know. So we want to create, you can create default here, which I would recommend. You can also create light if you're worried about memory usage, and then create is sort of an in between, or I think it's sort of an in-between, but I would just go with create default here. And you can pass in a string, and this is gonna be our bot token. We'll do this in a second. So for now, I'm just gonna type in token, but that's obviously not correct. So your bot token, it's what points to the actual bot itself. So we need to create that bot first, and we're gonna do that on the Discord website. So go to that last link in the description, and that will take you to the Discord developer portal here. And you might have to log in with Discord. In fact, you definitely will have to log in. And you want to go to this applications page here. And this is where all of your bots are going to be, all your applications that use the Discord API. So we're going to create a new application. You're going to name this pretty much whatever the name of your bot is. So in my case, I'm going to name the application JDA tutorial, but you can name it whatever you want. Creates, and this is your actual application. You can set a description and all that kind of fun stuff. But what we're interested in is going to bot here on the left-hand side, and you can add a bot. Yes, do it. And there we go. We have a brand new bot here. You can give it a name. So this is going to be its username in Discord. So I'm going to name mine tutorial bots. Very basic name. Save changes. And then we have our actual token here. This is very important. This is what I was talking about earlier. Right here, our token. This is going to be what we throw in here. So in order to use the token, you actually have to, I think, reset it. It doesn't show it. So make sure you remember it, but you can hit reset token and yes, do it. Now I have to use my authentication code because I use two-factor authentication for Discord. I like to be safe, so I'm going to enter that in right now. 656527. And there we go. So this is our actual bot token. It's very important that you don't let other people see this token. Otherwise, they will have access to your bot. They will be able to mess with it and do all sorts of horrible things. So don't do that. But you can copy it right now. And once you leave this page, it'll disappear from here. So don't worry about that. You can copy it and go to your Discord here. And let's actually set a little variable here so that it's a little bit easier to read. Let's create a string token is equal to, and we can just paste our bot token right there as a string, and then we can pass in our token to create default. So this is pretty much just setting up a shard manager with our bot token for the specific bot, and it's going to create an instance of the bot pretty much. Now a couple of flags you can add to the builder that are, I guess, fun to mess with right away. If you type builder dot, you can see a few of them. So we can set the let's do status first. We can set the status, and this is going to be its status on Discord. So to set this, we can do online status dot, and you can choose from any of these. So for example, if you wanted your bot to be invisible for whatever reason on Discord, you could select that here. But I'm just going to do online because I want my bot to just look like it's online. And I could also do builder.setActivity, which is another fun one. This is what you see on Discord when someone is kind of like playing a game or they're watching a movie, and it shows it on the side and it says like Technovision is watching or using IntelliJ. This is the same thing. So we can set a custom activity with activity dot, and you can choose from any of these: listening, playing, streaming. I'm gonna do watching, and I'm gonna pass in Technovision TV as a string. So this is just going to make our bot say in Discord that it is watching Technovision TV. Of course, you can set it to whatever you would like. And then finally, to build the actual shard manager builder, because this is a builder right now, it's not the actual shard manager yet. To build it, we can just take our builder and of course do .build. Very simple. And that will build the actual shard manager. But we need to set this to a shard manager object. So let's create a little private shard manager object here called shard manager. And let's actually make it final because we're not going to change it. And we can set shard manager equal to builder.build. And we also need to make sure that we're throwing a login exception here. So if this bot token is incorrect, or it's for whatever reason, if the bot token doesn't work, it will throw a login exception. So we can throw a login exception, and yeah, we'll handle this in the main method with a try catch. But yeah, pretty much there's some other flags you can set if you mess around with builder. There's a couple in here that you can probably mess around with. We'll be talking about some of the more advanced stuff like intents here and listeners and stuff later on, so don't worry about that. But for now, this should be enough. So yeah, now we just need to actually run our bot. So we can do that from the main method here. And actually, before we do that, let me just really quickly create a getter for this shard manager object. So public shard manager get shard manager, and this is just going to return shard manager. And I'm doing this because we will be accessing this shard manager in other classes a lot, so that's why I'm doing it right now. But yeah, I'm gonna make a little getter there, and then to actually run our bot, we can just do technobot, or not technobot. I'm thinking of my my other projects. Tutorial bots, and we can just name this bot is equal to new tutorial bot. And again, this is because this is the class that we're building right here. And of course, it's gonna throw an error because we're not handling the login exception that we're throwing. So let's do a try catch real quick. Just try catch that error. And we wanna catch a login exception. So this exception, again, like I said, is going to throw if this bot token is invalid. So if this this login exception occurs, we can just print a system.out.println to console, and let's just say error. Let's say provided bot token is invalid. There we go. Cool. So this should be enough to actually run the bot. And you can either run it up here in the top right with a configuration, or just to make it easier, come to your main class and right click and hit run. There we go, run. And moment of truth. There we go, JDA finished loading. So that's how you know that everything worked without any issues. And let's just see real quick, if we were to mess up the bot token. So let me just type in like hello for the bot token, which is not a valid bot token, of course. If we run, we should get, there we go, perfect. Provided bot token is invalid. So there we go. That's gonna make sure that your bot token is working as needed, or as intended rather. Okay, great. So we have the bot running, but we need to actually use it in Discord. So to do that, we need to invite it to a server. So what you wanna do is open up Discord and create a little test server so you can test out your bot. I created a server here called JDA tutorial. And once you have a new Discord server, you can add it to an existing one if you want, but I'm gonna do a new one just because it's a little bit safer. You can go to your Discord developer portal where we created this bot and got our token. And you can go to OAuth 2, go to URL generator, and there's two things we need to check here. Make sure you check bot, because this is of course a bot. And you also want to check applications.commands. We're not using this right now, but it's going to be useful because it allows us to use / commands. So you definitely want to check both of these two. And then the last thing we need to do is select the permissions that our bot has access to. So these are all of the permissions that your bot will of course have access to in your in any of the servers it's added to. And this will be the same across anyone who uses this invite link. So choose wisely based on what you're going to use. I'm going to use administrator just because it's easier and I don't have to sort of deal with any permissions issues in the future, but I don't recommend that because people don't really like using bots that have administrator privileges. So I would recommend selecting most of the stuff that you think you're going to use, go down the list and select whatever you want. But again, I'm just going to use administrator just for to make this easy. And down here, it will generate a URL for you. You can copy this. This is your actual invite link that you will send to people in order to invite the bot to their server. And if you want other people to use it, make sure when you're in your bots here that you have public bot checked. But anyway, yeah. So once you've generated that URL, you can paste it into your browser. And you can see this is our application, JDA tutorial. Adds a server. We can add our bots test, not bot test server, JDA tutorial server, and continue. You can see the commands, or not commands, sorry, the permissions it has access to, administrator in this case, and we can authorize. Make sure we're human, and let's check. There we go, our bot has been added, tutorial bots, perfect. Now, a few things to note here. It does have no profile picture, but let's actually set one real quick. Go to bots, select image, and I'm going to select this little avatar I made right there, a little green Technovision logo for our tutorial bots. And I don't think it's gonna update until we run the bot, but let's run it real quick. So if we run our bot, you can see it's offline right now, of course, but if we run our bot by again right-clicking on the main class, run, and there we go, the bot is online and the profile picture updated. it's watching Technovision TV, everything's going perfect, awesome. So yeah, if you see your bot is online, that means everything is working great. Before I go, I just want to show you guys a couple really important resources that will help you on this journey to creating your own Discord bot. They're all going to be in the description, of course, but the first one is the JDA unofficial wiki. This is created by people who use JDA like us, and it's very helpful if you want to get information on how to do something, or you're stuck with some sort of setup process here. It has the full setup all written out for you, and all sorts of great stuff. So I really highly recommend checking this out if you have time. Another thing also is I will be posting every episode the source code from that episode on GitHub. So there will be a link to the full GitHub repository for the source code you just watched being written in real time. So you can see here we have all the source code for the next episode coming out. So yeah, check that out for sure. And then the last thing I also want to recommend is to join our Discord, which is in the description as well. It's the Technovision Discord here, and we have lots of great channels like our Java channel and our JDA channel, where you can get support on all of your code, and everyone here has watched the videos and can help you out if you're having issues. So yeah, definitely come say hi. But otherwise, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode.